he was a very learned person. He read a great deal. And something that people won't know about him, perhaps, is that he loved England. He came here a lot. He went to the Bristol Old Vic.
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
He
theatre school.
really started here in a sense, didn't he?
He did. So I think, yes, there's no doubt it was part of him. And in fact, he was very resistant, off duty. He wasn't funny. He didn't make jokes. That wasn't his thing, you know. In fact, he was very much in denial about that. I think there is something very distinctive about who he was and what he was, in the sense that he did bring of himself to the parts. And it has to be said that the Young Frankenstein, or Young Frankenstein, was, of course, absolutely his creation, really. That Mel Brooks worked on it with him, but he wrote it. He was very much a writer. I mean, not many of those films have we heard of, but he even directed a large.
Well, I was going to say, because I mean, we're obviously celebrating the things that were brilliant about him. He had that kind of madcap approach to everything, didn't he? Where not everything he did was necessarily a success, and I guess in a way that didn't worry him. He was willing to try his hand at all sorts of things, and some of his films, frankly, have been panned by the critics, haven't they?
It's true. I mean, even I didn't realise how many films he'd actually directed, but I mean, there were about 6 or 7 films, you know. He's almost up there with Mel Brooks, you know. And the truth is, his collaboration with Richard Pryor, he didn't direct those, but that was valuable, and some of those were good things in that. I can't forget, talking about funny moments, all his cameos were amazing. Everything You Always Wanted to Know About Sex, the Woody Allen film, but didn't ask. I can't remember how it goes. When he falls in love, he's a doctor and he falls in love with the sheep. And the other thing about all comics is it's what they don't say as well. It's his expression, that face, that hair, his pauses, his hesitations. And when he falls in love with that sheep, that look on his face and the look on his face as young Frankenstein. And that's the thing people will remember about him.
Some comics are not terribly nice people. We're told that according to his family, he'd kept his Alzheimer's secret because he didn't want to upset children who were his fans. He sounds like a genuinely pleasant, amiable person.
Well, that's something I haven't mentioned, which is the sweetness. He was, and in the parts as well. Again, this was part of his character, but he was a decent, good-natured person, you know, and that was very much part of him. Of course, he was devastated by the death of Gilda Radner, his wife. He supported cancer research, did a huge amount to help that. And in fact, the truth is that in the last 20 years, he hasn't done a lot of work. He's made occasional appearances and things.